Hello, Tom. Hello on Monday morning.
Monday morning, top of the morning. I know you got a meeting in a few minutes, right? So we're going to go fast. So we're going to go straight to it. Story number one.
Chinese car components firm Tuopu to open in Poznan. The new Tuopu factory will manufacture components for electric cars. Total investment outlays will reach 30 million euros. The investor plans to employ 450 people in the plant in Poznan.
Yeah, so that's, I think, is significance of this is pretty clear, obvious. Electric vehicles, the new automotive trend, obviously everywhere in the world. Poland's benefited from it hugely, and here you have the components guys following the big players coming in. They're taking advantage, of course, the proximity to the German market, Western European market. Anyway, quite interesting story. Big news for Poznan to get such a big Chinese investor. Congrats to Poznan. Okay, next story.
Retail investors pour into Polish Treasury bonds. Sales up 3 times. Retail bonds have tripled their share of total government bond buying this year. The reason for such a great interest are the practically zero interest rates on bank deposits, which so far have been the most frequently chosen form of investing savings by Poles.
Now here, of course, is the example comes to mind, the adage, there's no free lunch. So this kind of same concept happened with the Swiss mortgages we talk about, many times, 15 years ago, 12 years ago, and the investors and the people that took out Swiss bonds thought they were getting a good deal, and they got slaughtered, of course, right? So here you got to be careful, because if the bond prices go right, interest rates go up, they're going to get hit pretty hard in the bond price. Anyway, we'll see what happens there. Interesting times. Next story.
Gazprom disputes 50 million euro fine with Poland. The imposition of a fine on Gazprom is related to the ongoing procedure to establish a consortium to finance the construction of the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline without the required consent.
Yeah, so this is interesting, this long-running political dispute between Nord Stream 2, which of course is going to bypass Poland and Ukraine to go under the sea into Germany. Poland had a big fight with Gazprom. There was an earlier deal. It was broken. The odds of Poland getting money from Gazprom, I would guess, are about 0. We shall see. But anyway, this is a big political struggle going on between this, bigger than Poland, I would say. Anyway, okay, next story.
Hydrogen Valley begins R&D on hydrogen to replace jet fuel. Abandoning traditional aviation fuels will be an essential element in minimizing carbon dioxide emissions in this sector. However, this is problematic because aviation, especially on long-haul flights, requires a very high energy fuel.
Yeah, and this has been one of the issues with renewable energy. It's pretty easy to fuel your home, maybe even a car, but to fuel airplanes, difficult. So hydrogen can theoretically fix that. Now, Rzeszów, I'm going to hear more about Rzeszów today later in the news. I mean, Rzeszów with this hydrogen valley is pushing this whole R&D research for hydrogen. It's a big thing, would be incredible, game changer, of course. We'll follow that we'll follow that story in the next coming months and years, I'm sure. Okay, next story. Next one.
Qatar Poland investment and trade ties boosted ahead of 2022 World Cup. The Qatari Businessmen Association has organized the Qatari Polish business meeting through video conferencing to boost economic cooperation between Poland and Qatar.
Yes, so the Poland-Qatar relationship, Qatar has the World Cup 2022, should be on, should be healthy. We'll see what happens, but should be okay. And of course, they're trying to boost trade between Qatar and Europe in general. So we'll see what happens with that. Interesting trade potential with UAE, the whole Gulf states. And Poland has been pushing that relationship for a long time, and with some great benefits and dividends. So we'll watch that space carefully, but more importantly, we'll watch the World Cup space coming up pretty soon. Yeah, okay, next story. Are you a football fan? You a World Cup football fan?
As I said before many times, I prefer to do sport instead of watching.
Right.
Yeah, but sometimes, especially when it's Euro, for example, I watch it.
Yeah, this year's Euro 2021 is called Euro 2020, right? They're keeping the name 2020. Okay, next story.
Vietnamese Trade Promotion Agency boosts farm and food trade with Poland. At a recent conference, Nguyen Tan Hai, counselor at the Commercial Affairs Office, said Poland has huge demand for products that Vietnam has, like rice, basa fish, shrimp, mango products, pineapple, coffee, and cashew nuts.
I get kind of hungry. You just reading off.
Fresh all of things that I like.
Exactly. Good. A lot of trade between Vietnam and Poland because the historical trade between Vietnam and Poland set back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. So we'll see that continue to grow, that relationship and the trade between the countries. Okay, next story.
Benefit systems sees strong rebound after COVID. Poland's biggest provider of employee perks programs said it expects to almost double its client base in the next 5 months on fresh demand for gym activities after lockdown.
Okay, so are you more likely to go to a gym after COVID or less likely?
I can say that before the COVID-19, I've never been, never, but I didn't use the gym very often.
Okay.
So during the COVID-19, I also trained at home. So for me, it's not a big change after COVID, after opening the gyms. Yeah.
Not going to see. Anyway, interesting to see what will happen. So benefit systems is all of these different perks and benefits for employees. It can be food coupons. It can be a little bit like your business, right? A little bit like you provide meals, to some extent.
Yeah, but
anyway,
during COVID, we didn't stop our business. Like, for example, benefit system. Yeah?
Right, because you're food, right? You're providing meals. People got to eat, right? So benefit systems, their stock prices doubled in the last 6 months. So interesting play off of the bottoms. We'll see how they go. They're pushing themselves, they're pumping up themselves as a very big growth story. They're expanding to Turkey, into Central East Europe, becoming a more European player. Could be an interesting company to watch. Okay, next story.
World Bank to advise Podkarpackie Region on development strategy for Rzeszów. This one-year collaborative effort will help the Rzeszów agglomeration better prepare for further dynamic development with improved quality of life for people, environmental benefits, and enhanced conditions for new investments, including in the area of green economy.
I don't know why we have so many stories on Rzeszów, but we have a next one on Rzeszów, so just go to the next story straight away.
Okay, and the last story for today, I think, local by-election in Rzeszów postponed because of COVID-19. Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki decided to change the date of the by-election in several local authorities, including mayoral vote in the city of Rzeszów, southeast Poland, to June 13, the government spokesman Piotr Miller announced on Tuesday.
Yeah, so in fact, you might remember the news a few months ago that the mayor of Rzeszów was extremely popular, been there forever, contracted COVID. And so now they have a special election for the next mayor. That's June 13th. By the way, Rzeszów in general, again, developing very nicely, southeast Poland, the airport's developing great, the aviation valley, now hydrogen valley, World Bank advising them. They're doing a lot of right things in Rzeszów. As they continue to grow very nicely, very strongly in a southeast corner of Poland. That's the news for the day. We'll see you tomorrow. Get to your meeting. Thanks for today. We'll chat more later.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tom. Have a nice day and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Magda. Bye.